here, as a female performer, has ever been told she's too perky or too chipper or too cheery? Or who books a lot as that? Nobody? Great, you guys all do well. So you book, Amy, you're Amy, right? Yeah. Hi, Amy. I see you all over the boards and the blogs and Facebook. Hi. I pulled Rich aside. I said, wait, which one's Amy? I saw your name on the thing. I said, I need to meet her. Cool, come on up, Amy. So you've probably had to deal with this, where you get rewarded for being cheerful.
Yeah, they throw me a fish. It's awesome.
Right. You get rewarded for being cheerful many times. We like your bright, selly read, but don't be selly. And this could be really helpful for you to find an authentic center. There's a whole part 2 to this, as I teach it in my coursework, which teaches you how to take this as your grounded first read and how to kick it up a notch if you need to pour more energy into what we're going to solidify today. So you'll have the option of either one, but it'll be able to give you a core authentic read and then a brighter read should they want one without it ever slipping back to something that feels inauthentic or too zesty.
Right.
But that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't circumstance that I'm sure you find yourself in.
Yeah, it physically, sometimes if I'm in an ISDN session, I actually start to feel little tears welling up behind my face because I feel like I'm being pulled in 2 directions at once.
Right.
You know, the copy is the 3-day sale, and they're saying, but you know, you're just say it like you're telling a girlfriend.
Be normal.
Yeah, like you and I would be sitting at a table and say, oh, and the Myers, the 3 days just doesn't. I can't get the
exactly because nobody talks like that, but they write it like that and then ask you to not deliver it like that, and there's this car crash in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna fix that. Okay, why did I get rid of the copy stand? I've said this a bunch of times, but for those of you who are new to me and to my process, one of the first things I do is I ditch the copy stand, and not just because it blocks the camera's view of me, but I ditch the copy stand even when you're in your booth.
I do too.
Do you? Okay, good. Because there's this problem, there's this physics problem with the way most copy stands are set up. Most copy stands, right, are underneath the microphone, and if you leave the copy on the copy stand, where it would seem logical to leave the copy, you dip your head down, and then suddenly the microphone's trying to hear stuff out of your forehead, right? And you're looking down at the copy, and you're totally off mic. So I always tell everybody to leave the copy on the copy stand when you're marking things up. This is a music video. Leave the copy on the copy stand when you're marking things up because it gives you a nice good flat surface to write on, right? But the minute you need to perform copy, get it up off the copy stand. Your eyes are above your mouth, usually. So you want the stuff that your eyes need to see to be above what needs to hear things out of your mouth. See how that's an inversion of leaving it on the copy stand? So get the copy above, get into a stance, 1 foot in front of the other, bend your knees.
I don't know if I have enough balance to do that, Nancy.
Actually, it gives you more balance. See, look, I can't knock you over like this. If you're
yeah,
I can maybe. If you're standing like this, you become very ungrounded.
Okay.
Just grab the ground. Okay. I tell most people not to read the specs. We'll talk about that in a minute. I tell most people not to read the specs because your ability to fit the specs was controlled back when the copy got sent to you in the first place. Someone somewhere in the pipeline, even if it was a machine that was pulling things from your profile, felt that you were somewhere in the zone of the person that they say that they're looking for. Otherwise, you wouldn't be auditioning for this thing in the first place. I'm a big fan of cover up the specs, and all the information that you need about what you need to pretend to feel and what you need to do lives in the content of what's going to be coming out of your mouth. Then check the specs to make sure you're on the right page. But if you go in through the specs, it will sanitize your performance and you'll sound like everybody else. Trust your brand and deconstruct the copy. Don't deconstruct specs. Okay, anyway, I think I've said enough. Okay, give it a shot. Breyers.
Okay. At Breyers, we're churning out an amazing new ice cream. One with double the whoa, double the wow. New double churned from Breyers. The richest, creamiest tasting Breyers ice cream ever. Amazing new double churned. Only from Breyers. The new taste of ice cream.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. It's tricky. Do you see all the traps in here? They're saying don't be announcery, and yet, whoa, double the wow. See the struggle? Double richest, creamiest tasting Breyers ice cream ever, and then a lot of people have bad tapes playing in their heads. Oh, it's food. Romance the copy if it's food. Make it sound delicious, right? Amazing, yikes. That's a trap for being exuberant, right? New double churned only from the new taste of ice cream. It is so written for exuberance, and yet they say don't be announcery, right? So here's the first trick, and this is going to be the enduring concept, the admit. What you want to pretend, as you dive into this and play pretend, is that you tried it, ate it, liked it, bought one, drove 3, owned 2, shopped there, took your kids to that healthcare facility or whatever it is, that you've got to plunge yourself into that experience like that it's real and it's happening to you, and you ingested this ice cream and you actually enjoyed it. The tricky part, again, if I'm sharing with Amy that I had some ice cream that I really loved, I probably wouldn't say these words. Thanks, ad writers, for writing it to have me say something gushier than I would actually ever normally say. But what you really want to do is have the intention of an admission. What you really want to do is the intention of an admission. Admit that it's good. And that will barrel you right through the middle of the emotional state. Admit that it was good. Admitting that it was good is a way of giving testimony. And what advertisement wouldn't prefer to have a whole bunch of testimonials? So what they want is they want the actor to sound like they're giving a testimonial. Yeah. And an admit helps you do that. An admit is not needy. An admit is not exuberant. You'd never say, I voted for him. I voted for him. The richest, creamiest tasting ice cream ever. If it helps, pretend like you're explaining it to somebody. Okay? But you're admitting that it is rather than shoving that it is. So let your body be your guide. It will really help you find the rhythm of the thing and the emotion of the thing. It's not like we want you emotionally dead like a salmon on this thing. That would be undercompensating on your amazing. I mean, you are saying that it's amazing. What we want is about a 5. We don't want a 10. We don't want a 2. Amazing. Talk with your hands. One more time.
Okay. At Breyers, we're churning out an amazing new ice cream. One with double the whoa, double the wow. New double churn from Breyers. The richest, creamiest tasting Breyers ice cream ever. Amazing. New double churned. Only from Breyers. The new taste of ice cream.
That's really nice. Thank you. That's really nice. Go grab a seat. That's nice. Thank you. It didn't sound as gushy and as exuberant as whoa, wow, and amazing could have risked her sliding into, and yet she didn't sound like she was underwhelmed because of some effort to be non-announcery. She was into it straight through the middle. Straight through the middle. Testimonial endorsement. That was great. A lot of people overcompensate in an effort to be non-announcery, and they don't sound like they even liked the ice cream. You sounded like you ate it and liked it just fine. I'm always more pulled in by something that's not trying, but that it's at a reasonable level of fondness if you're saying you were fond of it. That was wonderful. Thanks.
Hey, Padres fans. Here's a cool statistic from the Union Bank of California. Sorry, I'm a little nervous here.
It's good. Okay.
How about a checking account with 0 monthly service charges? It's our special Padres checking account just for baseball fans. You get free Padres. You get free.
That's okay.
Padres? Yeah.
Be specific and clear.
You get free Padres logo.
If you make your, I'm sure you've heard this a million times. You've probably said this to people a million times. It's upon you to inform people. I'd almost rather you be a bit pedantic than mumbly.
Okay.
Right? Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Padres fans. Here's a cool statistic from Union Bank of California. How about a checking account with 0 monthly service charges?
What do you need me to know in that sentence?
0 monthly service charges.
Slow down on it.
How about a checking account with 0 monthly service charges?
That wasn't too clunky. It brought it up to the level of where I could understand it. So it might feel clunky and obvious, but if it's tricky for you to say, it's quite probable that it's hard for me to ingest. So I don't mind that you got deliberate about your tempo there because it actually made it easier for me to take into my ears. How about a this, and a that? I actually was appreciative of the fact that you did that with your tempo if I'm concerned about receiving the content. Yeah, okay, keep going.
It's our special Padres checking account for just baseball fans.
It's our special Padres checking account.
It's our special Padres checking account just for baseball fans. You get free Padres logos check.
What?
And You get free Padres logo checks and a collectible checkbook cover.
Would you talk like that to me?
I don't know.
You get free this and that. You get free this and that. Leave conjunctions alone. You get free this, underline it. Underline the things you want me to know. You get free this and you get free that. You don't need to hit the and. If you hit the thing beyond and, you don't need to hit and. You don't want to hit a word or underline a word or give emphasis to a word that heralds content, because all I'll remember is the heralding. You want to hit the word that is the content following the and. You get this and you get that. Okay, I'll remember the this and that. If you go, you get this and you get that. The that dies in the shadow of the and.
Hey, Padres fans, here's a cool statistic from
Yeah, you got to kind of believe it. You got to drink the Kool-Aid. Hey, Padres fans, here's a cool statistic, actually.
Okay.
You're coming in at about a 3 in terms of emotional investment here. And again, sometimes this happens because you're trying to be non-announcery, or sometimes you're nervous, or I'm making you nervous. But hey, Padres fans, here's a cool statistic. It's got to sound like it's actually kind of cool to you. A good admit intention, in addition to admit, in addition to informing people, in addition to reassuring people, check it out, it doesn't suck. Okay?
Hey, Padres fans, here's a cool statistic from Union Bank of California. How about a checking account with 0 monthly service charges? It's our special Padres checking account just for baseball fans. You get free Padres logos checks and a collectible checkbook cover, and pay no monthly service fees for a year.
And pay no monthly service fees for a year. One way to unscramble stuff is to just always remember that you're a service provider. What do they need me to bring to the people? That nugget, right?
And
You are a slave to the content that's to be communicated. You can't be a slave to your nerves. It'll get you out of yourself if you think about them. What do they need to know? What do they need to know? What do they need to know? They need to know they're not going to charge me for a year and pay no monthly service charges for a year. Take that sentence again.
And pay no monthly service charges for a year. Just visit your nearest Union Bank branch.
I put it in here on purpose because it's a total mangle.
Yeah.
One more time.
Just visit your nearest Union Bank branch.
You see how much it's better when you do the clunky tempo that probably feels clunky in your head? Clunky to you is clear to us.
Yeah.
So it's relative to the person. You know, clunky to you is clear to us. Clunky to Melissa might actually be clunky to us, but she's not working to correct an issue of getting understood. If you're having a difficult time with stumblies or whatever, err on the side of being a little clunky and deliberate, and it will probably unscramble your sentence. Great, cool, thank you. Nice to meet you. Thanks. Michael Berger, whose read you'll hear in a minute, has a killer voice that's at huge genetic risk of being too huge. But the flavor of real testimony, the admit acting in this audition, is what won him the booking.
To be in business is to communicate. Whether you work with concepts and ideas or wood and steel, 2 people or a team of thousands, fast, efficient communication is essential to your success. Shaw Business is a Canadian company that meets all your phone, internet, data, and video needs. You've built a company on a foundation of excellence. At Shaw, we've built a high-performance network to support you.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer, from our exclusive steakhouse choice beef to our award-winning rotisserie chicken. Albertsons, crazy about food.
You sound a little uncertain about Albertsons, but I think that's just nerves. Okay. You see how much of today is about burning off nerves? Really? Albertsons. When you get to the product name, you won't be announcery if you rubber stamp that product name.
Okay.
Albertsons. The last place you want to sound woggly and uncertain is when you cross over the product name, right? And I know that you're not uncertain about Albertsons. I think sometimes your eyes lose track on the page, or you got ahead of yourself on the line and whoops, where am I? But you can't afford any whoops, where am I? Because it sounds like you're going, whoops, I don't know if they're any good after all, right? So when you cross over product name, a good way to endorse, I just sort of think about what we were doing on EA Games with Perry. Albertsons, rubber stamp it. You know, it's not zesty to rubber stamp it. You're not going, Albertsons. You're not being flamboyant about it. It is what it is. Like, stick it. Albertsons, crazy about food, right? Okay, one more time from the top, and talk with your hand. Let your left hand become more animated.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons.
You sound really, okay, so the pitch curling, I'm deliberately not looking at you because I'm just trying to go on what I'm hearing. Your pitch curling is making you sound unsure.
Okay.
Pretend to be more confident about sticking what you're saying.
Okay. If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer.
You're getting happier and happier. If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. It needs a little more wry sarcasm because of what's happened in the spot before you got there.
Okay.
People in the spot before you got there were a little nutty, right?
All right.
So it doesn't make any sense if they were very nutty and you're coming in to respond to that nuttiness and lock and load the way we take in what's just gone on before you got there in the radio spot. You're not trying to cement that we should all feel cheerful about that. If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. Hello. You know, it's got to have a little bit of hello, not fear or cheer. Okay, one more time. Hold the copy a little higher. Give yourself permission to be a little emotionally negative. It's relevant. Go ahead.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer, from our exclusive
It needs a little more sarcasm. Sarcasm needs to have some confidence in it. Okay, one more time.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer, from our exclusive steakhouse choice beef to our award-winning rotisserie chicken.
You sound really fearful and unsure. You just got to get a little bit of game on. So this is a really good example of somebody who's not needing to come down off of a bombastic announcery thing. We've got to get you up from sounding a little weak or unsure. So pretend to be a lot more confident about smacking some sarcasm about this whole thing. Take it from the top and empower yourself with a little more authority. If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We do this, we do that, we do the other thing. Pretend to feel a little more confident. Take it from the top.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer, from our exclusive steakhouse choice beef to our award-winning rotisserie chicken. Albertsons, crazy about food.
I don't know. That's a really weak way to land that thing. You feel how vocally it was on its tippy toes? Crazy about food. One more time, let me hear that last sentence and stick it to the mat.
Albertsons, crazy about food.
Bring it, you're like so in the top of your voice.
Albertsons.
It's a placement issue as much as a pitch issue. It's a placement issue as much as a pitch issue. If you were to imagine that your throat, okay, were a cylinder, a hollow cylinder, okay, and that your voice is a little golden ball that lives in that throat, I don't want the little golden ball at the top center and in the back. This is crazy about food. You sound too unsure, right? I want the little golden ball down in the middle of that chamber, actually low in the chamber of that tube of your throat, and actually in the front. So placed high and in the back, you sound like this, right? Placed low and in the front, you sound like this. When you're low and in the front, there's more air coming up the back passage. Albertsons, crazy about food. Instead of, that's like down in here. I literally can feel the difference. There's Albertsons, crazy about food. Instead of back in here, Albertsons, crazy about food. I sound unsure. So to make it like a three-dimensional issue, it's not about just bringing your pitch down. It's about bringing your placement to the front. If I could, oh, I moved the thing, stand. A good exercise to play with your placement is if you're, when you're in your nose and you're up and in the back, as I would say, when you're high and in the back, up and in the back, you can feel a little bit of a buzz on the bridge of your nose. I don't love that placement. It makes you sound unsteady, unsure, weak, suggesting. It's just a little bit too suggesting, and I can actually feel a buzz in my nose. I want to change the placement from it being up and in the back where I can feel like a buzz in my nose and there's actually no air coming out of my nose. Crazy about food. I don't know. I'm not buying anything from that endorsement, right? Albertsons, crazy about food. Ooh, okay, now the little golden ball has sunk to the basement and now it's pressing against my fingertips on the other side here. Albertsons, crazy about food. And I can feel a lot more hum coming out the back, upper back passage. When I'm up here, it's kind of nasally, crazy about food. Crazy about food. So if you want to just check and make sure that your placement's a little yummier, And again, it won't go phony if your acting's a good endorsement down there. Albertsons, crazy about food. Can I breathe out of my nose? Yeah, okay, I like that placement better. Middle placement's always good, but there's a certainty to having your placement down and in the front. Okay, try it one more time. Try putting your fingertips right here, okay? And see if you can feel, try to make the little golden ball press up against your fingertips, right down in there. Intention works. Okay. If only more, okay, one more time from the top.
If only everyone were as passionate about food as Albertsons. We take pride in everything we offer, from our exclusive steakhouse choice beef to our award-winning rotisserie chicken. Albertsons, crazy about food.
Much better. Yeah, nice. Thank you. That's a much better placement for you.
On the tagline exercise, which is unbelievably valuable.
Thank you.
There's a tendency for me to go Purina and to sound a little silly on that, but he just went straight into Purina.
Confident.
Yes. So, which is easy to do on one word, but how do you do that on a three-word? What was the condensed milk? Carnation
right.
instant milk. Carnation instant milk.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So just do it straight
But
on.
here's the thing. Going more slowly across all that real estate of language feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're standing there naked and getting examined. And if we're a little nervous, we'd prefer to do a two-syllable word because you can get in and out of it quickly. Just as long as you're acting, you know, you're pretending that you like the milk anyway. Why not pretend to feel comfortable?
Okay.
You know? Carnation instant breakfast. You know, the Sony Vaio slim top LCD computer with interface software with the, you know, I mean, just keep going to get understood.
Gotcha.
If you can kind of put it in your crosshairs to get understood, you're not working to don't be nervous. Yeah. If you sit there and go, don't be nervous, it's like saying, don't think of a big purple giraffe. Go. You know, don't be nervous. That's all I could think about. Get understood. Be clear. What do I want them to know? And just be, I'm pretending I like the car or the milk or the lemonade. I'm just going to pretend that I'm confident as the day is long so I can be longer on my vowel sounds.
Thank you.
Sure. Great question. Any women who suffer with this sort of tension anxiety thing? Yeah, come on up. And sometimes things should sound like what they mean. I mean, we've got to watch it on like pure joy, but sometimes they give you help by saying just a friendly reminder or I just thought I'd be frank with you or honestly, blah, blah, blah. And so sometimes you can take cues from calm words, right? Okay, so, yeah. Right. Good. And if you don't know how to pronounce something, ask. Better than getting 3 takes into it, saying it wrong, and then you're going to have to fix it anyway. Rainier.
Rainier. Okay.
Rainier. And if you have trouble remembering it, it's always helpful to write it out phonetically in the periphery. Rainier, like R-A-Y hyphen, all caps, N-E-E-R. Or think of something amusing that sounds similar that will help you, like the thought of a sneer or a jeer. Rainier. Okay. TV spot or radio spot?
My suspicion would be television.
Totally correct. Why is it TV? Why does it kind of have to be TV? This ain't filling up 30 seconds of radio time.
No.
Too little tiny. It's usually a TV spot if there's not much on the piece of paper, a couple of lines, looks like haiku. It's a TV spot, right? And this isn't one of those times, but if it feels like there's missing information, you know, that it would need its dance partner to fill in so that anyone knows what's going on. But this is definitely a TV spot just simply because of the scarce amount of text on the piece of paper.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
Doesn't sound very peaceful.
Okay.
Pretend like you're not nervous.
Peaceful, powerful.
See, isn't that the worst direction? Pretend like you're not, right? It's like, don't take a step forward, right? Okay, so
I'm
let's...
still thinking about the purple giraffe.
Oh, see? Okay, so try proactively doing something. If you
Okay.
get given shitty direction like that, if you get given junky direction like that,
Edit.
you have to reframe it in your mind so it's something proactive instead of the inverse of something, right? Peaceful, powerful. Okay, so peaceful. Wow, if you ever had an opportunity to be quiet, the word peaceful, do very little. Here's another great thought. My friend David said this. Voiceover unlike acting for TV, for example, or unlike acting for a play, is about learning how to be interesting on a very small canvas. Thank you, David Coburn. On a very small canvas. You know, people who can paint a whole cityscape on a grain of rice? You've got to pretend that you're invested in this stuff, but you've got to tell your story on about a 3 by 3 by 3, right? So you have to convey all the ponderous complexity of what's interesting and curious to you on a very small piece of canvas. So get close to that thing and let the mic come in and hear you so that you don't have to work emotionally so hard from your gut. That mic's right in your face. It's an expensive piece of machinery. Trust me, it can hear you. Okay, so hold the copy a little bit higher. One more time.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
You sound a little bit tense on that last line. Okay, so let's take a nap. Here.
Okay. Grab my mic, I assume.
Oh yeah, you might want to take it. Okay, so, all right, let's lay down. All right. Sorry. Okay. It's better already, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
Now just make sure that you support the ends of your sentences, but you don't have to push too much. Okay.
Okay, I think I understood that.
Let your words glide.
Okay.
Do you feel your voice sort of falling to the back of your lungs? Like your voice is hanging out back by your vertebra now?
Yes, I do.
Breathe with me.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
That's better. One more time. Make it important to you, but quiet.
Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
It's too fast on the last line.
sorry.
It's too fast on that last line.
Last line?
The last line was way too fast. It's a brand new Buick. I don't talk like that when I'm lying down. Okay. It's a brand, Okay, one more time.
Okay. Peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
Nice. Nice. That was really good. That was really good. Now, carry some muscle memory for what you just did. Come on back. Let's hear you do it standing up.
Wait, do I have to do this? Okay, I'm just going to do it this way.
Hold it.
Okay. Peaceful,
Okay, remember what it felt like.
peaceful, powerful, Rainier. It's a brand new Buick.
Lovely. That's great. Thank you. It's not about giving a dead read. I hear that on demos a lot. People try to be non-announcery, so they do this totally flat read. It's about being calm. It's not about being dead. You know? I think that's the idea. You want to be calm, and then if you want to choose to go more acerbic than calm, then you might be wry, but it's about being calm, not dead.